A spouse writes, he has had PTSD since deployment. A coworker writes, I watched him leave work early twice in 1 month because of back pain. Which statement tells the reader more about what actually happened? The answer is not necessarily the more dramatic sentence. It is the one grounded in first-hand observation. A buddy statement is not a persuasive essay. It is not a magic key, and it is not a substitute for every other kind of evidence. At its best, it is an honest account from someone who saw, heard, or experienced something directly. My position is simple. A buddy statement is strongest when it sounds less like an argument and more like an accurate witness account. Welcome to the Veteran Benefits Reset Podcast, where we help veterans and their families better understand the VA disability benefits process, one step at a time. I'm your host, Cameron Burrell, a U.S. Army veteran and founder of VetBiz Media. Today, we're taking the guesswork out of buddy statements, also called lay or witness statements. We'll look at what a witness can personally describe, who may have useful first-hand knowledge, how specific details add context, and where a statement should stop. Veteran to veteran, I understand why people want a witness to say everything at once when the paperwork feels incomplete, but stronger sounding language is not always stronger evidence. Accuracy matters most.
One guardrail before we go further. This is general education, not legal advice, medical advice, individualized claims advice, or a prediction about a particular claim, rating, compensation amount, or effective date. Every veteran's service, health history, records, and circumstances are different. VA requirements and available forms can change, so verify current information through official VA resources. When appropriate, discuss your questions with a VA-accredited veteran service organization, claims agent, or attorney. The goal here is education before action, understanding what a witness knows and asking better questions about the complete record.
So, what does lay evidence mean in everyday language? It means information from someone who is describing personal experience rather than offering a professional, medical, or expert opinion. The person might be the veteran, a fellow service member, a spouse, a parent, a friend, a supervisor, or a coworker. The important question is not, does this person have an impressive title? The important question is, what did this person directly know, and how did they have the opportunity to know it? Picture a service member who was present during a training accident. That person may be able to describe where the event occurred, what they saw, what the veteran said immediately afterward, whether the veteran continued the mission, and whether the veteran moved differently or appeared to be in pain. Those are observations. The witness does not have to diagnose an injury or announce that the event legally proves service connection. They can describe the event and what followed as accurately as they remember it. That limited account may add context to military records or medical evidence, but it does not decide the claim by itself. Now, think about what a family member may see at home. A spouse might describe interrupted sleep, difficulty sitting through a meal, avoiding crowded places, needing help with ordinary tasks, or stopping activities that used to be routine. A parent or adult child might notice changes during visits. The value is in describing what daily life looked like from that person's perspective. I saw him wake up gasping several nights a week is an observation. I know he has a particular sleep disorder is a medical conclusion. Those are not the same thing. A coworker or supervisor may describe what happened in a work setting. Maybe they saw someone leave early because of pain, ask for more breaks, miss scheduled shifts, struggle to concentrate during meetings, or stop doing a physical task that had once been manageable. The witness may not know the full medical history, and they do not need to pretend that they do. Their direct knowledge may be limited to what happened at work. That is perfectly fine. A reliable statement respects its own limits.
Here is the catch. First-hand and second-hand information are different. If a neighbor writes, "The veteran told me that a doctor diagnosed a condition in 2012," the neighbor is reporting what the veteran said. The neighbor did not personally observe the diagnosis. That does not automatically answer every question about the statement, but it does change what the statement establishes. The neighbor may instead be able to say, "I saw the veteran use a cane, avoid stairs, or miss work during the summer of 2012. The observation belongs to the neighbor. The diagnosis may require medical records or an appropriate medical opinion.
And who can provide a statement? A former squad member may remember an in-service event. A spouse may know what changed at home. A friend may have observed limitations during recreation. A supervisor may have seen attendance or performance changes. A coworker may have shared the same workspace. The relationship matters because it explains the opportunity to observe, but no relationship automatically makes a statement credible or automatically disqualifies it. Direct experience, honest memory, and consistency with the rest of the record matter more than a job title.
But what does useful specificity actually sound like? It does not mean dramatic detail, and it does not mean inventing a perfect date. A witness might write, "I do not remember the exact day, but it was during our field exercise in the spring of 2007. After that event, I noticed him favoring his left side and asking for help with equipment." That is useful because it identifies a setting, gives an honest time frame, and describes observations. It is better than guessing at an exact date just because precision sounds impressive.
The same principle applies to frequency, duration, and impact. How often did the witness see the problem? How long did it appear to last? Was it at home, in a vehicle, at work, during physical training, or in a social setting? What did the veteran actually do in response? Did they sit down, stop an activity, ask for help, or leave the room? Those details provide context. They are not a formula for approval, a rating, or service connection. They simply show the difference between a first-hand account and a sweeping sentence like, "The veteran has always been disabled."
This is also where people can accidentally overreach. A witness can describe symptoms, behavior, and functional effects they observed. A witness should not be pressured to determine the cause of a condition, provide a diagnosis, or promise what the VA will decide. For example, "I saw her fall, and afterward she favored her right knee," stays within personal observation. That fall definitely caused her current diagnosed condition may go beyond what the witness can personally establish. The first sentence reports an experience. The second asks the witness to answer a medical and causation question.
A few common mistakes are worth slowing down for. One is copying another person's statement or using an internet template word for word. A template may help someone understand the kinds of information that could be relevant, but the witness's account should be in the witness's own words. Another mistake is exaggeration. If someone saw 2 missed shifts in a month, they should not write that the veteran never worked. Words like always, never, and every day may be accurate sometimes, but they should not be used as shorthand when the memory is actually less certain.
Memory can also be incomplete after many years. That is not a reason to fill the gaps with guesses. A witness can say, "I do not remember the exact date," or "I saw this during the months after separation, but I cannot speak to what happened before then." Honest limits are part of an accurate account. And please do not coach a witness. They should decide voluntarily whether to provide a statement, review it carefully, and sign only what they genuinely remember. Do not ask them to use a diagnosis, a legal phrase, or a promised outcome. If you are simply trying to get organized before speaking with an accredited representative, start small. First, identify the person and explain the relationship they had to you during the relevant period. Then ask, what did this person actually see, hear, or experience? Keep that answer separate from what someone else told them. Next, note the approximate time frame and setting. Add frequency, duration, and practical impact only when the witness truly remembers those details. Mark uncertainty instead of filling in blanks.
After that, make sure the statement is dated and reviewed by the person who is providing it. Keep it with related military, medical, employment, or VA records so the complete picture can be discussed together. This is an organization approach, not a recipe for a guaranteed case. A statement may support one part of a claim, explain a change that is not obvious in paperwork,
or have limits that become clear when compared with other evidence. No single statement guarantees service connection, a disability rating, compensation, an effective date, or approval. Let's remember the three contrasts. Observation, not diagnosis. Accuracy, not exaggeration. Context, not a guarantee. A fellow service member may describe an event. A family member may describe changes at home. A coworker may describe what happened at work. But each witness should stay within personal knowledge, use their own words, and be honest about timeframes and uncertainty. That is the governing idea. A witness statement is strongest when it sounds like an honest account, not a polished argument.
Before the next episode, take one practical step. Identify one person who may have first-hand knowledge of an event, a symptom, a change over time, or a workplace limitation. Write down the period and setting in which that person may have observed something. Do not pressure them, do not coach them, and do not ask them to diagnose anything. You do not have to create a statement today. Just prepare one responsible question to discuss with a VA-accredited VSO, claims agent, or attorney when appropriate. One step, one record, one mission.
Thanks for listening to the Veteran Benefits Reset podcast. I hope today's episode gave you a clear understanding of lay evidence and one practical way to get organized. This podcast is an independent educational resource. It is not legal or medical advice, and it does not replace guidance from a VA-accredited veteran service organization, claims agent, or attorney. Verify current information through official VA resources, and remember that every veteran's service, medical history, and claim are unique. If this episode helped you, follow the podcast, leave a review, and share it with another veteran, family member, or caregiver who could benefit. Download the free 7-step Veteran Benefits Reset Guide at vetbizmedia.com/veteran7. Thank you for listening to the Veteran Benefits Reset podcast. Stay organized, stay informed, stay ready. And remember, your service did not expire. Your story is still worth reviewing. Take the next responsible step.